Hello, we are back for week 9 transactions. It's me here, Bash, and we got White Ferret here.
Hey guys, it's me, Whitefair21, and yeah, as Bash said, we've got your Week 9 ASL transactions.
Let's start off. We got Brad and Ian making a trade, which is Hydreigon for Heatran. Uh, you'll see in a second what's gonna happen with that because I guess I don't know how to really put this because there's a lot of transactions that happen between Brad and Ian this week.
Yeah,
So
I think the best way that we can handle this is just kind of like say, like, hey, this happened, but let's move on and then talk about it, like,
yeah, okay,
once we've covered all the other transactions.
yeah. So he what ended up happening was Brad ended up trading Hydreigon to Ian, and Ian traded Heatran. Uh, I'm guessing Brad just wanted to change up his team. I guess it was getting a little stale, and see if he could try to take advantage of some of these transactions he can make. Uh, Ian was looking, I believe, to move some things around, and you'll see why he ended up trading Heatran in a second, I guess. But let's go into the
Yeah,
next thing where Brad ended up trading, dropping Scolipede, Heatran, and Mega Steelix for Mega Scizor, Ferrothorn, and Aerodactyl. Now you're probably thinking, wait, why is he grabbing two Pokemon that are four times weak to fire? That is part of future transaction that will happen in a second anyway. Um, but very interesting to see that he dropped the Scolipede. I thought he loved that thing. Um, and
yeah, it seemed like he was doing real well with that, but,
yeah,
I guess, like, he was made an offer he couldn't refuse, so.
yeah, true. And he might be also like looking towards the future, like in playoff positioning, because it might be the Monty might have picked up might work better for his team in that future. And also, I know he hasn't really brought Mega Steelix that much this season, and maybe he wants a team that he could probably bring more Mons, variety of Mons to kind of force his opponent to prep for all of them. And he didn't really bring Mega Steelix that much, so maybe that's why. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Then let's move on to the last part of
yeah,
these transactions, or
yeah.
yeah. So we've got so Brad has just picked up this Mega Scizor, right? But then he also has picked up the Ferrothorn, so he's got these two fire weaknesses. You might have thought, wait, that makes no sense,
yeah.
because Brad is gonna trade that Mega Scizor away to Ian for Mega Latios.
Okay. I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like Brad really got out of this trade pretty well. Um,
Yeah,
he ended,
certainly if you look at it on just like certainly at face value, it seemed like quite a bit.
yeah. I believe he ended. So if just to make it a little easier, for what the teams are now, Brad's team consists of Megalodios, Ferrothorn, Sylveon, Diggersby, Slowbro, Whimsicott, Emboar, Miltank, Aerodactyl, Raichu, Driftblim, and Scyther, which is absolutely terrifying. And then Ian's team now consists of Mega Scizor, Hydreigon, Porygon 2, Crobat, Araquanid, Hariyama, Electros, Aromatisse, Excelgor, Golem, Alolan Executor, and Dusknoir. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say with these transactions that Ian actually grabs some priority, which is something he kind of was lacking on his team. Really, he had Bullet Punch and Hariyama, and I guess Shadow Sneak on with Dusknoir, but Dusknoir doesn't really want to run that all the time. And Dusknoir's not a mon that you bring all the time. And Mega Sorcerer is just a really good mon for priority with Bullet Punch. So like that's something to know. It also probably gives him a more hazard move, I would say, because he's grabbing Hydreigon and Mega Scizor now.
Which both defog,
Yeah.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I think he's gaining this transaction as well is by getting rid of the Heatran and the Latios. Like, those are two mons that can lose you momentum a lot of time. but now he's gained High Dragon and the Mega Scissor, which both can U-turn on things.
That is very true.
His team is more pivot heavy now, I would say.
Which makes
it's a lot easier for him to keep momentum once he gets ahead in a game.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially because a lot of times he likes to run his golem with a Stealth Rocks explosion kind of set, or some way to get up Stealth Rocks and just get out. And then with the Stealth Rocks up, it's really nice to get pivoting around with that, with Hydreigon, Mega Scizor, Crobat, Electros, Excelgor, all that momentum right there. It's just really nice for him, I think. I would say though, Mega Latios is very I don't know because Mega Latios is just I honestly from my point of view, Mega Latios is just a monster. Um, and it's very difficult to see why he from my point of view, because I would think Mega Latios is a lot more value, but I guessing from it, he probably wanted to change up his team, because of recently I believe he wasn't performing as well. Maybe he didn't like the way his team was working, so he probably switched it up to try to help that out. So that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Megalodios went third overall in the draft, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, it has a lot of value attached to it. But if it's not working, but if it wasn't working for Ian the way that he wanted it to, then you do have to change, right?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes.
Yeah. Hopefully, he has more success with this style of team. Otherwise, doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. It's also sometimes that sometimes certain mons aren't comfortable with using. So honestly, I don't I think Lando T is a threat, but I haven't really found success in actually using it correctly. When I drafted it? So there's something to know. So maybe that's how Ian was feeling about these transactions. So he decided to get something he was more comfortable with. So and then Brad's side for this, I do like the transactions. I know he is pretty much fighting for Pangoro, as he's pretty much begging everybody to try to get Pangoro for him.
Yep.
But other than that,
watch week 10 transactions to see if he gets Pangoro.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
it's really just a new look team for Brad. Almost can't even tell it's the same. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. You do still have some of the mainstays all his tier Bs, Sylveon, Diggersby, Slowbro, but obviously both of his tier A's have changed, and then as well as the Aerodactyl was new. So
yeah, I would say though, he's gonna he does not have a dark type, and anything I learned from Draft League is that dark types are very necessary against mons like Necrozma, Cresselia, those kind of things, or they could just run Mono Psychic on you, or even Reuniclus, and they could just run Mono Psychic on you with setup, and it's just very terrifying to deal with, without a dark type there, and with the fact that he doesn't have a dark type there, which also is another resist for dark types and ghost types that threaten Megalodios, so that's something to note as well. But yeah, that not having a dark type might hurt him in the long run. But that's why he's trying to get Pangoro. So you know.
Yep.
And to add, because Brad ended up dropping Scolipede, he made Slowbro his new Z user. Very interesting pick for a Z user, I would say.
Not necessarily what you would expect, but if you look at his team, it does make some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously Megalodios is not going to be a Z user. Ferrothorn, I don't think makes a ton of sense because you're not really going to be seeing a super offensive Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
Most weeks, normally it's a defensive or utility type of mon. Diggersby doesn't really want to run a Z move, although I guess you could.
What's the agility kind of thing? It's possible, to be honest. But it's not usually, and I guess Slowbro, not usually seen as a Z user, but Brad has been using Slowbro offensively as well this season. So there's
That's what I was gonna mention.
Yeah. I could see why he did it. Slowbro gets Trick Room, right? I'm pretty sure it does.
Yep, that's what he's been doing a lot.
Yeah,
Is he's been setting up Trick Room with it,
which
and just getting kills because it does have very high attacking stats, despite being deployed in a defensive role
yeah, and its
a lot of the time.
coverage, is just insane. So maybe that adding that sea crystal with it could really be able to put it over the be able to make the difference between taking out a Mon and Trick Room or not. So maybe that's I'm probably
And
thinking that's
and
why,
yeah,
but
it is in fact Brad's kill leader this year as well with 10. So
yeah, that's very interesting to know.
yeah,
Let's see. So I believe uh,
that should cover it, right?
that is it for this week. We only have one more transactions video after this, which is sad. But
Hmm.
it has to come to an end because at that point it gets a little crazy. Uh, except
Hmm.
for wait, I don't, what about the Commissioner Bowl thing?
I don't know if we're doing anything for that. I think that next week is our last week of transactions, right? And then after that, we should be doing playoff picture.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
make sure to tune in for that,
Oh, definitely.
and make sure to tune in for next week's transactions to see the exciting conclusion. Does Brad get Pangoro or not?
And what other possible transactions that people make on trade deadline, like everybody else, that panic and make transactions last minute.
Hmm.
So that's that
We'll
for
see.
this. That's that for this week, and guess I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.